in the round, our in the round night, and we've got three wonderful songwriters to share music. So without further ado, let's welcome them to the stage. Please welcome Ed Englerth, Dan Cafferty, and Steve Taylor.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming. My name is Dan Cafferty. I'm going to start out with the first song on my last album. This is a swing song. I recorded it with a full horn section, but for today, this is the horn section. So there is a part for you to help me out for background vocals, and it'll be apparent once you hear it. It's a true story, by the way, except for the parts I made up, which is pretty much all of it. I've been writing songs ever since the age of 3, and my nanny sang along as she bounced me on her knee. All those years I was under the weather, I couldn't go to school, but my songs sure got better. Always understood and let me be. Years had passed and I'm watching my TV. The Grammys are on and there's something I must see. When they announced the song of the year, I fell off my chair and onto my rear. There's my nanny thanking everyone but me. There's a Grammy for my nanny, Grammy for my nanny. There's a Grammy for my nanny, Grammy for my nanny. There's a Grammy for my nanny. There's a Grammy for my nanny. Thank you. And there's a Grammy for my nanny, but there's nothing for me. How could she take what was so clearly mine? Looking back, I can surely see the signs. I played her all those songs I wrote. I now remember she was taking notes. I just don't know how I could be so blind. I tried to call her, but I could never get through. Her agent would answer and repeatedly say, "You are who?" I said, "I'm the one who wrote the songs that she's now passing off as her own. You better get this straight or I will sue." Till then, there's a Grammy for my nanny, Grammy for my nanny. There's a Grammy for my nanny. There's a Grammy for my nanny. You're getting that Grammy for my nanny. There's a Grammy for my nanny, but there's nothing for me. Guess how this story ends? Well, I drive a Junker, she drives a Mercedes-Benz. I'll be dead by the time it gets through the courts. You'll never get my just rewards. I'll just be left complaining to my friends. There will be a time, much to my dismay, when I will sadly reach my final day. When they write my epitaph, some final words on my behalf, you can probably guess what it will say. His nanny has a Grammy, his nanny has a Grammy, his nanny has a Grammy. His nanny has a Grammy, his nanny has a Grammy. His nanny has a Grammy, but there's nothing for me. One more time. There's a Grammy for my nanny, Grammy for my nanny. There's a 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 Grammy for my nanny, but there's nothing for me. There's nothing for me. Thank you.
Dan, you're like 3 guitar players at once. That's amazing. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for coming out here to Trinity House. My name is Steve Taylor. This is my first time here, and it's such a beautiful theater. So thank you guys for coming. This is a song I wrote that was on the last record I did with my band. My band's called the Steve Taylor 3. And summertime is my favorite time of the year, and I'm pretty miserable in the wintertime. So my thing that I do is I stop shaving the first time it snows, and I don't shave for the entire winter until the first warm day of spring, you know, that first day when you're driving around in usually late March, well, late April now if you're lucky, and I like to roll down the windows and just smell the snow melting, and it's a very joyous day for me. So this is a song about the first warm day of spring. It's called I Love You Like the First Warm Day of Spring. It goes like this. I love you like the first warm day of spring, as the sun shines upon the yellow grass. Trees begin to bud and the birds begin to sing. I love you like the first warm day of spring. I love you like the last day of school, when you walk out of class into the sun. You could play the princess and I could be your fool. I love you like the last day of school. I love you like the changing of the leaves, walking softly through a gentle autumn breeze. Just one kiss from you and I feel it in my knees. I love you like the changing of the leaves. I love you like the soft Christmas snow, when it's early but the sun is going down. When the day is finally done and I am coming home, I love you like the soft Christmas snow. Love you like the first warm day of spring, when the edges of the lake still have ice. I can feel your warm embrace and how your lips will taste when I hold you in my arms tonight. I love you like the first warm day of spring, as the sun shines upon the yellow grass. And I smile as I drive, 'cause I know that you are mine, and the wind moves the empty branches as I pass. Thank you so much.
These guys play real energetic, fast music. Not that I was asleep before they started, but for some reason, parts of your voice sounds like Rodney Crowell to me.
I will take that as a compliment, sir. I love Rodney Crowell.
Yeah, me too. But this is not like Rodney Crowell. Sharp words shake me loose. Please forgive this attitude. And out of the well, sounds are heard, a bubble, a sob, three awful words. Everyone needs healing. Everyone needs healing. At the bottom, they rampage. They walk that pit, man. They seek escape. And if they came out one by one, then I could slay each dragon. And everyone needs healing. Everyone needs healing. Well, the terror was worse than the agony, and this child eyed each enemy. Years of time and riches gone, the monster's will still is iron strong. To face the beast, to find those names and annihilate each cause of pain. Yes, everyone needs healing. Everyone needs healing. Everyone, everyone, everyone needs healing.
That is a great song, Ed, and that is a great message. And I think you should put that on a t-shirt.
Yeah. Okay, the following song is called Another Man's Shoes, and it's a song of empathy for our fellow man.
We can stretch our arms, we can reach for the sky, we can gaze out the window at the sun. We can thank our lucky stars, but we just can't deny everything our life has become. There's other worlds out there so much different than our own. There's struggles for survivals from the depths of the unknown. Need to walk a mile in another man's shoes. Need to realize we all pay different dues. There's fantasy, but there's also the truth. Need to walk a mile in another man's shoes. This journey lasts for such a short time. There's no darkness that comes with the night. Is it too much to ask? Is it really such a crime to recognize our brother's plight? You throw away the blinders and see the world for what it is. Need to open up our eyes and see everything we miss. Need to walk a mile in another man's shoes. Need to realize there are things he didn't choose. There's fantasy, but there's also the truth. Need to walk a mile in another man's shoes. No one gets here alone, no matter how much they may boast. Time after time it's been shown, we're standing on the shoulders of ghosts. need to walk a mile in another man's shoes, need to realize we all pay different dues. There's fantasy, but there's also the truth. Need to walk a mile in another man's shoes. Oh, slip them on and lace them up. Feel the wear and the tear and the holes in the soles. Feel the feel of the heel, every part of the arch. Just need to walk a mile in another man's shoes.
Thank you.
I'm going to play a song with a lot less notes. This is a song, we just put a record out in April, and the record is called Travel Light. And this is a song I wrote when I realized I'm still friends with a lot of my ex-girlfriends, which is probably weird. But I always had this feeling that, you know, when you're in a relationship and you spend so much time getting to know someone, it seemed like such a shame to have that all go away just because the relationship ends. So I always ended up staying friends with most of my ex-girlfriends, and this did not go over well with my wife when we started dating.
We're going to need to talk between us to figure out how you did that, but
So this is a tribute to all your ex-boyfriends and girlfriends, because I think you learn something from every relationship that you're in, and it's kind of, you know, becomes part of who you are. So this is called Here's to the Exes. And this is going to go out to Bill Keith back there because he played the song on the radio today. So I thought I'd play it. It's a guitar solo, Dan. I want you to jump in on it. It's an A flat. And I have every confidence, but by the time we get there, you're going to know exactly what to play. There are days when I still think about her, the way she smiled, the way she laughed, how I broke her heart into a million pieces when I kissed her best friend at the dance. Time goes by and I appreciate the memory. So here's to the exes, to the boys that broke your hearts, send you spinning round in circles till you came right back to the start. And to all those girls who left us, and the ones we left behind, well, they left an impression in the corner of our minds. Here's to the exes. Here's to the exes. There are days when you realize all you learned from the boys you used to date, and how your life would be significantly different if you'd never seen his face. Time goes by and you appreciate the memory. So here's to the exes who taught us how to love and dance slowly in a dark gym with a mirror ball above. And I was the first boyfriend that your mother didn't like, 'cause my hair was a little too long and I kept you out at night. Here's to the exes. Here's to the exes. Yeah, time goes by and we appreciate the memory. So here's to the exes, to the love that didn't last, to the casualties of innocence, to the romance of the past, and to the boys who knew your secrets but never told a soul, and to the girls who stood in the front row while we played our rock and roll. Here's to the exes. Here's to the exes. Here's to the exes. Here's to the exes. Dan Cafferty on the lead guitar there. Thanks, Dan.
And I've been married 43 years.
In a row.
Had almost nothing to do with me.
So are you friends with any of your exes?
I'm trying to remember. Maybe on Facebook.
Okay. What Steve hasn't mentioned is he's been divorced 13 times. Okay.
Yeah. Well, you're always supposed to get a good song out of it. I know a lot of my material is it's like therapy, and it's cheaper. In fact, I know a therapist, and she said that it's probably more effective. So this kind of fits into exes, except that but it's not a happy subject. If you want some good therapy, buy my CDs. About 3-4 years ago, my folks-in-law were living with us, and he had dementia, and then he went into a facility, and I was thinking, well, what's it like from his perspective? So I figured he wasn't going to complain, so I had at it. And his name was not Martin, but for legal reasons, I changed the name to My Name is Martin. My name is Martin, and I think there's something wrong. I'm relaxing in the sun. Memories are flaking off. My name is Martin. At least I remember that. And as the sun starts to set, I sometimes lose my path. My name is Martin. My mind stretches and yawns, mocking precious memories, but which ones I don't recall. They show me pictures and movies to connect me to the past. And I see them at the station, but they're on a different track. My name is Martin, and I'm so pleased to meet you. Could you help me to the bus? I only need to find my shoes. And many of the facilities have to deal with their patients who basically, about the only thing they know how to do or what their desires are is that they want to go home. They don't know where home is anymore. So what they've done is they've built a bus stop out front. And then the people that are working there go, oh, there goes John again, he's escaping. John will go out and sit down and wait for the bus to come. Bus people don't even know this place exists, so they're not going to show up. Then one of the staff goes out and sits down next to him. Doesn't really say anything, he just kind of, maybe, you know, hey, nice weather. Maybe, do you like coffee? How about just a good meal? By this time, the patient has totally forgot why they're out there. So the facility person to say, well, hey, they've got some really good coffee here. Why don't we go in and have some? And they go back in.
We're going to kind of go to the islands with this one. This is actually the title track from my second album, and it's a song about not paying attention. It's called So Far Gone.
I can hear the words you are saying, but I must forewarn. My mind's a million miles away, yes, I am so far gone. You know I have to tell you, much to my chagrin, sometime in the future I'd have to say this all again. I should have paid attention, I know I'm in the wrong, my mind is so far gone. You look at me to make sure that I got it, did I nod my head? Seconds pass, I've already forgot it, every word you said. I'm not being defensive, I'm confessing all my sins. I didn't get the beginning or the middle or the end. But something that's important, I suggest you write it down. My mind is so far gone. I'm prone to distraction, that's one of my strengths. I can keep all your secrets, cause I'm not really listening. If I help to say I'm sorry and admit I was wrong for being so far gone.
The dance floor is open.
Think about a game, wonder about the score. Think about a girl I met in 1994. Looking at the sky, think about the weather. Think it's maybe time that I should get myself together. Did I close the door? Lock the window, can't remember. Think about an ankle that I hurt in late September. Staring at my shirt, think about a tune. Wonder what I'll have for lunch tomorrow afternoon. Please let me assure you, I'll be back before too long. But now I'm so far, so far, so far gone.
Thank you.
Well, a few years ago, we lost one of my favorite songwriters of all time, Mr. Tom Petty. And it's hard to believe that it's been almost 5 years since Tom Petty passed away. And I remember that day because we were recording, and I remember all day there were reports. It was on the internet that he had died and he had not died. He was still alive. So by the time I was driving home, late on a Monday night, the news is pretty definitive that Tom Petty had passed on, and I got in my car to drive home from the session, and I started feeling around because I knew I had to have a Tom Petty CD somewhere in my car because I'm old and I have CDs rolling around in my car. So I found one and I put it in, and it happened to be a Tom Petty album called Echo, and the very first song on Echo is called Room at the Top of the World, and it's just Tom Petty playing guitar and singing. He's saying, I got a room at the top of the world tonight and I ain't coming down. So by the time I got home, I just wrote like 6 pages of just lyrics and just to get it all out. And then I went to bed and I didn't think about it for 6 months. And then I pulled it out one day and started trying to edit it together. And it's funny because I don't know if you guys experience this too, but sometimes I'll go to bed with thinking about something and wake up and there it is, right? So did that happen to you? It happens to me all the time. So I had all the words, but I didn't have a chorus. I didn't know anything about it. I hadn't picked up a guitar or done anything. And I woke up in the morning and I knew what key it was in, and I had the chorus. Just my brain must have thought of it when I was sleeping.
Maybe Tom helped you.
It might have been. It might have been. I would love it, if that was true. So this is a song. It's not really a sad song. It's more of a celebration of his life, and it's a song about the day Tom Petty died, and it's called "The Day Tom Petty Died." It goes like this. It was October 2nd, 2017. It was just another Monday and the leaves were still green. The sun, it was shining, everything seemed fine. I had no way of knowing it would be the day Tom Petty died. Well, they found him unresponsive, must have caught him by surprise. His heart had stopped beating and no one knew just why. 'Cause the news was all on Vegas, one man killed 59 on the day Tom Petty died. I hope you like the view from your room at the top of the world, and I hope you're dancing with an American girl. And I know Roy and George are sitting by his side, and I won't soon forget the day Tom Petty died. Well, they took him to Cedars-Sinai in full cardiac arrest, while men in white lab coats were beating on his chest. But they couldn't bring him back, no matter how they tried. Turned out to be the day Tom Petty died. Now 40 years of heartbreak, rock and blues, countrified. I hope his wife and daughters had a chance to say goodbye. So glad I got to hear him sing Wildflowers one more time, 2 months before the day Tom Petty died. I hope you like your view from the room at the top of the world, and I hope you're dancing with an American girl. And I know that Roy and George are sitting by his side, but I won't soon forget the day Tom Petty died. Oh yeah, all right, let's raise a glass to Tom tonight. Well, I drove home that night and listened to Echo in my car. like a voice down from heaven. I didn't get that far, 'cause the music had new meaning. I couldn't help but cry at the end of a long day. Tom Petty died. Now part of him we carry, part of him is gone. He left the world a better place than before he came along. I wasn't ready to lose Prince, I'm still sad about Glenn Fry. Nothing cut me deeper than the day Tom Petty died. I hope you like the view from your room at the top of the world, and I hope you're dancing with an American girl. And I know Roy and George are sitting by his side. Well, I won't soon forget the day Tom Petty died. We can't forget the day Tom Petty died. No, we won't forget the day Tom Petty died. Thank you so much.
Great song, Steve. So do we have Tom Petty fans out there? Okay.
I always say, every time I play that song, I say that there's only two kinds of people in this world. There are people who like Tom Petty and people who love Tom Petty. That's it.
Three.
So-
And those who have,
Heard of Tom Petty?
they live under rocks.
So it's a brilliant song by Steve. He actually had a little clip of a Tom Petty song in there. The question is, what song was it? Oh, yeah.
All right.
Make it last
Make
all
it last
night.
all night.
An American girl.
Sorry.
That's right. Thank you for noticing that. Same key, too. That was,
Yes.
little cameo.
This has none Tom Petty's other than It's in D, which Tom liked a lot. It's not nearly as sad as the previous tune I did. It's about I was about 1,000 miles from home at a music festival in July, about an hour west of Peoria, and it was like 95 in the shade. And I would close my eyes and I would see these colors start to change, and I'm thinking, well, either I'm about to pass out, or I'm not sure what. And I wonder if my wife closed her eyes at the same time that I was closing my eyes, could we meet in this secret little place? Close your eyes to go beyond the veil. Think only of the peace. Think of what we can share. And I am waiting for you to see what I have found. So close your pretty eyes and put aside your doubt. Are your eyes closed? Are your eyes closed? The lids, though once translucent, soon reveal this brand new place. You are standing on the step when the colors start to change. Are your eyes closed? Are your eyes closed? Well, now we are together. can interweave. And although we must return, I never want to leave. Are your eyes closed? Are your eyes closed? Are your eyes closed? Are your eyes closed?
Take a second, first of all, to thank a few people, Angie and Mike Ward, and Bill Keith and Terry Burkett for helping to make this show and other shows happen, so thank you very much for that. I also do want to take a second to talk about the Trinity House Theatre. This place is very special to a lot of people, and it is a nonprofit, and in order to keep this going, we do depend on donations from folks like yourself to try to keep the activity and keep the shows like you're seeing here keep going. So please consider a donation to help this theater. So thank you. So after that, I'm going to play a song about kicking ass. So it just seemed to fit in. So sometimes, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes we write songs to entertain ourselves, and we're just hopeful that others get some entertainment out of them as well. And that's sort of where this song came from. I knew these two guys many years ago, and as far as I know, nobody ever laid a hand on them their entire life. But somehow, into their 20s, they found the need to acquire some deadly skills and get a black belt and everything that you can get a black belt in under the veil of self-defense. So once they acquired these deadly skills, then there's melees in Walmart parking lots, there's fights in libraries, there's bar fights. So it got me to thinking, was it really self-defense, or was it this unquenched thirst to kick some ass? So I wrote this song to make fun of them, and I only play it when they're not in the room. It's dark, and I'm assuming that they're not here. It's called Karate. It's a bluegrass song. There's a little something I think that I should tell. Not that it's important, but hey, what the hell? So I've been taking lessons and it should be understood. Now I know karate and I'm getting pretty good. Now I can kick your ass, oh yeah, I can kick your ass. I can shatter backside bones like they were a piece of glass. It cost $10 a lesson and it's well worth the expense. Now it's not just some expression, I can really kick your ass. Still with me? Could have studied Spanish or learned how to swim. Could have learned the tuba or how to play the violin. But just one thing gave me a thrill, the kind that's gonna last. And that's learning karate, cause then I can kick your ass. Oh, I can kick your ass. Oh yeah, I can kick your ass. And before you know it, you'll be face down on the grass. Kick right above the back of your thighs and right below your back. Now it's not just some expression, I can really kick your ass. I know it's just for self-defense, I say that with a wink. You know what I'm getting at, yeah, you know what I think that I can kick your ass. Oh yeah, I can kick your ass. When my foot hits your bottom end, it'll sound like one big crash. It'll break you like a piece of wood and then throw you in the trash. Now it's not just some expression, I can really kick your ass.
'cause now I know karate, I can really kick your ass. I think that your proctologist will put you in a cast. I think you'll have to buy a flag and fly it at half-mast, 'cause now I know karate, I can really kick your ass. Hiya!
Thank you. Seems odd to play that song after that announcement, but whatever. It sort of didn't fit in with the other stuff.
Well, I'm going to do a song. This is a brand new song. I'm not even sure I know how to play it correctly yet, but Mike Ward's here. He's one of my favorite local songwriters, and I'm always inspired to hear Mike sing and play. And Mike is such a great songwriter and such a great finger picker, and I don't feel like I'm a great finger picker, but I aspire to be better. So this is a song, I write a lot of songs about weather, in case you guys haven't noticed that theme. And I always have a hard time at the end of the summer because it's very sad for me when, after Labor Day, when you realize the summer's over, and fall is beautiful. I love September and October. It's the 6 months of soul-crushing winter that awaits us after.
So is this the day Sonny Elliott died? Is that what it is?
It should
Is
be.
it? Okay.
But this is a new song, and I wrote it, to help myself deal with the fact that summer's coming to an end. So it's called Summer Goodbye. We held each other tightly. I leaned into the embrace. I whispered, it's gonna be a while till I see your face. She said, time's a circle and seasons multiply. Today I hugged summer goodbye. We went for one last walk as the sun began to fade. We talked about the last few months and the memories we made. Winter drags on and on, but these days just seem to fly. Today I hug summer goodbye. Sometimes she shows up late, but I don't really mind. I'm humbled by her grace and the warmth that's in her eyes. I held her in my arms, I told her how much she'd be missed. Today I gave summer one last kiss. Her eyes filled up with tears as the wind began to blow. I know I'll see her next year, but it feels like we're getting old. She said when winter gets here, tell her I said hi. Today I told summer not to cry. The patios are closing and the lawn chairs put away. They're having back to school sales, it's getting close to Labor Day. It seems like such a long road from now until July. Today I hug summer goodbye. I sat on the porch and watched the cloud roll across the sky. Today I hug summer goodbye. You can't hold on forever, September wants her turn. The calendar is changing, there are lessons still to learn. The people who love winter are waiting for the snow. So today I let summer go. Today I hug summer goodbye. Today I gave summer one last kiss. Today I let summer go. Today I told summer not to cry. Today I hug summer goodbye. Summer goodbye. Thank you so much.
I've always been in denial about a lot of things, so I'm going to think that summer is still here, and it's going to stick around. I have, at last count, 13 albums out, and I mainly say that for that type of reaction. Thank you.
Wow, sorry I was late.
And all of them, but 5 of them, well, actually, there are 5 here that are in actual CD format, which I have here. This last album was kind of a COVID album. A guy named Tim Ripley, who lives in Maryland, and myself, who lives in Hastings, Michigan. We were never in the same studio. We just did the album. He did all his drum parts and keyboard parts and background vocals and production and mastering and stuff, and I did guitar, bass, and lead vocals and wrote the songs here. And it's the latest one. It's called Timed, and this song is from that album. I get in the shower to wash away the lies. The water's warm, but I feel like ice. I want to be famous, but not to be known. I want to be loved, but be left alone. There's a way that appears so pure. There's a way that seems well-reasoned. There's a way that appeals to my pride. There's a way to destruction. All my ways feel so innocent. Every rule I follow is a rule I've bent. When I'm sick, I want to get well. I ask who's to blame, must be somebody else. There's a way that appears so pure. There's a way that seems well-reasoned. There's a way that appeals to my pride. There's a way to destruction. By the light of day and the stealth of night, I keep on going. What is right? The world's collapsing, but all the while I just keep following my own advice. There's a way that appears so pure. There's a way that seems well-reasoned. There's a way that appeals to my pride. There's a way to destruction.
Come in and sit with me.
Well, thanks again for coming out today. We're glad to have you here. Hasn't it been a wonderful evening so far? Yes. Well, please join us in welcoming back Steve Taylor, Dave Cafferty, and Ed Englerth.
Can actually see who's here now.
Thanks for sticking around for the second half, everybody. We saved all our good songs for the second half.
I didn't get that memo. So the next song I'm going to play, it's called In Love with the Blues. And this was actually the first song that I ever got on the radio. If you guys have stories of your first songs, I'm always interested to hear them. But so I used to drive in my car with rough mixes from the studio and listening to the songs, so my kids would be in the car, so they constantly heard my music in rough form. So I'm driving down the road one day. What's that? Okay. Oh. I'm driving down the road one day, and it's XM radio, Bluesville, and it comes on, and here's the latest release from Dan Cafferty. And the first thing I thought of is, this person has the same name as me. I hope he's good. It's going to be embarrassing if he stinks. Then the song came on, and it was me. So then I turned to my son. I was driving him home from swimming practice. He's playing video games, and I said, Oliver, hey, your dad's on the radio. And he's so used to hearing me play that he didn't. I had to take the CD out to see it's actually me on the radio. And for 10 seconds of his now 21-year-old life, he was impressed with his dad. Now, at the end of that 10 seconds, it was back to the video game. So the song got regular airplay for actually the better part of a year. It got quite a bit of airplay on Bluesville. And I periodically would get phone calls from friends, and the phone calls started the same way. You know, there's a guy on the radio with the same name as you. Not one person actually thought it was me, and it's always, well, you don't sound like you talk. Well, I'm singing. Nobody sounds singing. They sound like they talk. So I'm going to play it for you now. I do love the blues. And every record I make, I do try to put a blues song on there. So, In Love with the Blues.
You're not plugged in, I don't think.
Okay. In love with being plugged in. Okay. Here.
There we go.
I found a new love, it means everything to me. Fits me like a glove, and it makes me complete. I'm glad to let you in on the news, I'm in love with the blues. It was love at first sound, when I heard her 1, 4, and 5. Now love is abound, a love that helps me survive. I'm sure I probably have you confused, I'm in love with the blues. We don't need to go places, we don't need to hold hands. I don't need to buy jewelry, and she just understands. Don't need to speak to communicate. She's always on top, I never have to wait. One day we'll be old, I know things will never change. Love will never grow cold, burn like an eternal flame. I know it might be strange, but it's true, I'm in love with the blues. Love was always something you choose, I'm in love with the blues. Good things always come in twos, I got love in the blues.
Thank you.
Fine guitar playing there, Dan.
Thank you there, Steve.
I love doing these songwriter rounds because I love hearing other people's songs and stories, and sometimes what other people play or it sort of will prompt me to think of something or do something that I don't normally do. So going on your theme there, Dan, this is probably the first song I think I wrote that I heard on the radio.
It's about kicking ass, is that it?
It is not about kicking ass. But I think I wrote this song maybe when I was like 20 years old, and many years ago I played in a band here in Detroit called the Voodoo Hippies. Yeah, thank you, Dan, for remembering that band and for applauding. But I wrote this song and we played it in that band, and I remember hearing it on 89X back in the day, which is very exciting.
Loved 89X.
And I wrote this song. I was dating this girl, and she was going through something. It's been so long I don't remember what the drama was. But when you're 19 or 20, everything is kind of a huge deal. And I just remember we were having this deep conversation, and she was crying. And at a certain point, she looked at her watch and realized like she had to go to work. So she kind of pulled herself together and just said, "Life sucks," and that was it. And I just thought that was interesting. So I wrote this song kind of based on that conversation. And y'all remember a TV show called Dawson's Creek?
Yes.
This song wound up on the soundtrack to Dawson's Creek, which is a show I've still never seen, but they wrote us a really nice check, and we were able to finish our record. And it's one of those funny things because it's the gift that keeps on giving. Because I got a royalty statement the other day, and I made $3.26. I haven't decided yet where I'm going to spend that windfall, but. So this is an older song, and it's called Without. It goes like this. Alone again, well, as I often am, and candles burn slowly at both ends. Who am I? Why am I here? Can I learn to overcome this fear? Or will it cripple me the way it's crippled you? And just one simple thing is all I beg of you. And I laugh sometimes, though it's more infrequently. I still love, but now it's everything but me. So let's discuss the greater scheme of things, life itself, and the pain it brings. Well, it's too much for me. Is it too much for you? I guess a change of scene is so long overdue. And she checks her watch, and she dries her eyes, and tells me it ain't that great to be alive. And I must agree with her. And everyone believes in destiny, while fate she laughs in silent apathy. And now I see it all so clearly. The world turns with or without me. With or without me. She checks her watch and she dries her eyes and tells me it ain't that great to be alive. And I must agree with her. And I must agree with her. Well, I must agree. Thank you.
Here, let me adjust this silly knob here. There we go. We try to, at some point in our lives, our history, we had man, and then we had modern man, and then we had just pretty much jumping at anything. Oh, I think we'll select that there. So that's the other part that I'm glad I remembered. I was robbed of mystery. Science just couldn't get a grip on such a slippery creature, so they disposed of it. I'm a modern man in a postmodern world, a modern man. My soul has come up missing. There's no bureau to report to. There's no picture for a carton. It just vanished in the blue. I'm a modern man in a postmodern world. Modern man. Do we now believe in leprechauns? Just to give longing a place to rest. Is this what Soren meant by leaping and then following obsessed? I'm a modern man in a postmodern world. A modern man, a postmodern world. Modern man, a postmodern world. A modern man. I'm a modern man in a postmodern world. I'm a modern man in a postmodern world. I'm a modern man in a postmodern world.
Okay, I'm going to play a very sad song. The title of the song is I Like My Bluegrass Real Blue. Do we have tissues to pass out anywhere? It's a song about a very sad song. He said, hey there, guitar man,
That's a pretty sad song. You've been singing it for so doggone long. He said, I felt pretty good till you started to crow. Now you got me feeling real low. Yes, I play sad songs, but what am I to do? Yeah, I like my bluegrass real blue. He said, I'll listen a spell, but it better turn around. Ain't gonna stand here and have you bring me down. So he stared for a while, then he started to cry. But he stood there, I don't know why. Sir, I would leave now if you want something new. Yeah, I like my bluegrass real blue. So you make my eyes water and my shoulders slump. If a bridge were nearby, I think I might jump. I said, fella, don't talk like you're through, just because I like my bluegrass real blue. Kept playing my song, and I got near the end. His tears, they kept flowing again and again. But he stood there listening, frozen in place. Something changed, I could tell by his face. And he said with a sad smile, now I like it too. Yeah, I like my bluegrass real blue. I like my bluegrass real blue. Bluegrass real blue. Sing with me. Blue. Bluegrass real blue. Blue. Bluegrass real blue. Blue. Bluegrass real blue.
It's a really tiny guitar.
I left it in the dryer too long, and this was the result. All right. My band and I, we put a record out called Earn Every Scar, and we put it out on March 7th of 2020. And we had a big sold-out album release party, and we had these T-shirts made up, and it said, Summer Tour 2020. We had all these festivals and things we were going to play, and then the following week, the world shut down. And every single show on the back of that T-shirt got canceled. And we were supposed to start working on a new record in April, and we couldn't get together because everybody was on lockdown. But while we were all in lockdown, I had a friend that called me up, and she goes, you've got to write a song about the coronavirus. And I go, that's a terrible idea. I'm not going to write a song about the coronavirus. But I thought, well, maybe I'll write a song about being stuck in quarantine. So I wrote a love song for my wife, and this is a love song about being in quarantine. It's called the Quarantine Love Song. It goes like this. Sometimes I think it wouldn't be so bad if the world just slowed down and I had some more time to stare at your sweet face without the distraction of the rest of the human race. Baby, we'd have nowhere else to go, and honey, we'd have nothing else to do. I wanna be quarantined with you. They could put us both in isolation, and I would still have the same sensation every time I looked in your sweet eyes. it wouldn't matter that we cannot go outside. 'Cause baby, we'd have nowhere else to go. And I said, honey, we'd have nothing else to do. I wanna be quarantined with you. There is no infectious disease that could keep you away from me. What's between us ain't something you contract. I just love you and there's no cure for that. We'd never have to change out of our PJs and just shower every 3 or 4 days. 'Cause no one will be knocking on our door. Put on a hazmat suit, make a run to the liquor store. Baby, we'd have nowhere else to go. And I said, honey, we'd have nothing else to do. I wanna be quarantined with you. With you. With you. Thank you. That's the only good thing I got out of 2020 was I wrote that song. What's that? Oh yeah. For every when the lockdown started, I remember we got to Friday and all my gigs were canceled. Everybody's gigs were canceled, right? And I just said to my wife, I go, I think I'm going to try to just set up in the living room and I'm going to do a Facebook Live show and see if anybody watches. And everybody, I didn't think about the fact that everybody was stuck at home and nobody had anything to do. So a lot of people did watch, including my good friend J.T. Harding, who's a great songwriter who lives in Nashville. And he called me up after the show and he goes, you have to do it every Friday at the same time from a different location in your house. So that's what I did every Friday night for, 12 weeks, 14 weeks, and just kept changing locations. At the end, it was one of the last shows in the bathroom.
What size house do you have?
Not big enough to accommodate that many locations.
It's a shotgun shack. It's a shotgun shack.
That's why we were in the bathroom at the end.
My wife and I retired just before COVID hit. She's an introvert. She said, what? I can't go anywhere? That's too bad. And that was also just after I'd released Everyone Needs Healing. And then I got the new album, Timed, released just about the time COVID kicked back up again. So, 2 big tours, right down the stinker. Love is not easily angered. Love must always be sincere. And love rejoices when the truth wins. It can't wear out and it won't give in. Heart, mind, and soul. It's more than just plain a role. L-O-V-E, love. Mm-hmm. L-O-V-E, love. Mm-hmm. L-O-V-E, love. L-O-V-E, love. And now don't that make sense? We'll practice love, but don't leave justice. Love always protects and it will always trust. Love always hopes years. Perfect love cast out all fear, heart, mind, and soul. It's more than just playing a role. L-O-V-E, love. L-O-V-E, love. L-O-V-E, love, 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 love. L-O-V-E, love. Now don't that make sense? Now don't you go and get yourself a big fat head with all that you think you know. Come on now and get a heart. Come on now and let that love grow. Yeah, heart, mind, and soul. It's more than just plain role. L-O-V-E, love. That's what I said now. L-O-V-E, love. That's what I meant. L-O-V-E, love. Let's hear it again. L-O-V-E, love. Now don't that make L-O-V-E, love? Yeah, 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 yeah. L-O-V-E, love. Ooh, L-O-V-E, love. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. L-O-V-E, love. Now don't that make sense?
Excellent.
Thank you.
You know, I hear a little, like in your voice, little Steve Miller, right? And a little David Wilcox, and as far as your
thank you.
singing style. It's very nice. I'm going to play a song. Steve just mentioned about a song. You were 19 when you wrote that? Yeah. So I was 22 when I wrote this. So 5 years ago I wrote this. And it was my first day at a real job, and I remember looking in the mirror and I'm putting this tie on. I'm looking, who in the hell is that? It's not me, I'm a kid. So I have this tie on, and it's like, this feels like it's not my life, it's somebody else's life. I had this fear of living a life that's been lived before, and actually I was about 25-30 minute drive to work, and this song kind of came to me as I was driving, and I wrote the music when I came back. So it's called Someone Else's Life.
I wake up each day and I look in the mirror. I don't recognize who I see. There's a stranger there with a peculiar stare, peering back at me. And I ask myself again and again, will I really matter in the end? I see myself in a different light. It just isn't me, this is someone else's life. In my formative years, I faced all my fears. I followed who I thought was wise. When I look back, I see I stayed on this track, so now I should not be so surprised that it seems every time I walk through a door, seems like someone like me has been here before. I feel in my bones that something's not right. It just isn't me, this is someone else's life. Try not to think too much, I need to sleep at night. That's some kind of tragedy, I think to be alright, be alright. You can't change the past, so you gotta move on. Find some kind of middle ground. Better change it up soon, better change what I'm doing, or else I'll end up in the lost and found. And it seems every time I walk through a door, seems like someone like me has been here before. It's not that what I have become is cause for any strife, but it just isn't me. This is someone else's life. This is someone else's life. This is someone else's life. Someone else's life. No, it's my life.
Thank you.
Did you record that one? Is that one?
That's on my first
All
album.
right.
Yes, I did.
We all have CDs here. If anybody still has a CD player, we got something you can play in it. This is a song that's on our new record. You're talking about therapy earlier in the earlier round. My parents a few years back sold the house I grew up in, and that was a bigger deal to me than I thought it was going to be. You know. But I wrote this song because it was cheaper than going to therapy. So this is a song about my house I grew up in. It's called This Old House. This old house was built back in 1964, the year after Kennedy, when the Beatles came ashore. The only home I ever knew, child memories preserved. Every thought I ever had, every song I ever heard. My dad called me up just the other day, said we're selling that old place, Mom and I are gonna move away. We're just too old to keep it up, too old to cut the lawn, and our neighbor's dog just keeps barking on and on. I know you understand that it has to be this way. I always knew the day would come, I didn't know it was today. 'Cause it's just brick and wood, drywall, paint and stone, but it's a place within my heart where I never felt alone. Now there's a gold river of memories flowing through me now. I grew up underneath this roof, I miss this old house. I had an older brother in the room next door. I had a million Legos spread out on the floor. If these old walls could talk, they would have so much to say. BB guns and broken glass and all the games we used to play. The basement where I built the spaceship underneath the stairs. The bed in which I used to sleep with my favorite polar bear. The posters of my heroes covered ceiling to the floor. Van Halen by the window and Bon Jovi on the door. I front the street in which I learned to ride my bike. Above the stars I wished upon when I couldn't sleep at night. The fireplace I sat in front on the coldest Christmas Eve. In the town I loved but couldn't wait to leave. It's not the same, so much has changed between then and now. I've got a family of my own, but I miss this old house. Games that kicked the can and the tree that broke my arm. Burning wrapping paper, setting off the smoke alarm. The bathroom that once got destroyed when some fireworks went wrong. The window I sat looking out when I wrote my first song. The refrigerator that displayed our first attempts at art. The bedroom where I cried at night when the first girl broke my heart. This old house has seen it all. Two boys row in the bed. But everything has changed and every story has to end. I'm older now and I know that one day I will be too old to climb the stairs, too old to trim the trees. I'm sure my boys will feel the same as I am feeling now, and the circle will complete itself. They'll miss this old house. This old house. This old house. Thank you so much.
I was going to blame this song on Terry and Mike, but then I changed my mind. I hate for them to get saddled with something as disgusting as this. It's called Coffee Blues. It's about addiction. Wake up and smell it. My body screams it'll be closer to your lips. That way you won't just have to dream of that coffee. Good coffee, hot coffee, give it to me. Good coffee, hot coffee, black coffee. Good coffee, give it to me. Well, it keeps me percolating, it gives me power to jump tall buildings in a single bound and never get enough of that coffee. Good coffee, hot coffee, give it to me. Good coffee, hot coffee, black coffee. Good coffee, give it to me. I'm addicted to the stuff. What am I to do? Addicted to the stuff now, baby. What am I gonna do? Just can't live without it. I got the coffee blues. A swimming pool of coffee, and where did that come from? Must be a blessing from that kitchen up above. But then I hear a voice that says, jump on in. You don't gotta drink it, it'll absorb through your skin. Coffee, good coffee, hot coffee, give it to me. Good coffee, hot coffee, black coffee. Good coffee, give it to me. I'm addicted to the coffee now. What am I gonna do? Just can't live without it. Got the coffee blues. Addicted to the coffee. I got the coffee blues. Make mine black.
Excellent, Ed. I want to thank everyone for being here. This has been a fantastic audience and a lot of fun for all of us.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. Thank you guys. And thanks to Bill Keith and Angie and Mike Ward and everybody here at Trinity House.
Yes. So our last song of the evening, we're going to do something together here from a band that we all love, the Eagles. We ready?
Sammy, you're going to love this.
just the other day, when they said they're gonna put you on a shelf. They tell you got some news for you, and you'll soon find out it's true. And you have to eat your lunch all by yourself. Think I'm already gone, and I'm feeling strong. I will sing this victory song.
When little that you hold me made me stop and wonder why. But I guess you felt like you had to set things right. Just remember this, my girl, when you look up at the sky, you can see the stars and still not see the light. That's right. 'Cause I'm already gone, and I'm feeling strong.
This victory song.
Ooh, ooh. All right, Dan. Well, no, it wasn't you who held me down. Heaven knows it wasn't you who set me free. So oftentimes it happens that we live our lives in chains, and we never even know we have the key. For me, I'm
Already gone. And I'm feeling strong. I will sing this victory song. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Take it away, Steve.
all right, Dan.
Healing strong. I will sing this victory song. 'Cause I'm already gone.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.
Come in and sit with me. Come in and be changed with me. The songs in the walls and stories in the halls, memories and history.